are looking forward to sharing a story with you here in East Tennessee and with the rest of the nation as ABC's 2020 reports on the death of Jonna Berry and her mother's fight for justice. Joining us now is 2020 co-anchor Deborah Roberts, who's been working on the story. Deborah, thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure to talk to you about this story, and you know it so very well.
Oh, well, you know, you're focusing, Deborah, on Jonna's mother, Joan, and her crusade for justice. Your thoughts about her and this unrelenting fight?
This story shines a light on a mother's strength and resilience and just power, really, in turning her grief into purpose. And Joan Berry certainly did that. This is a mom who would not give up. After facing such an unbelievable tragedy, the loss of her 21-year-old daughter, Jonna, who was just so suddenly and inexplicably murdered. So instead of just wallowing in her grief, Joan found a way to just power forward and to see her daughter's killer actually arrested. And it took a while, as you know. Police were absolutely stunned by this case. They looked at her roommate. They looked at her fiance, because this 21-year-old was engaged, was expecting to get married in a few months. Police zeroed in on those people closest to her. And as it went along, they just had no suspects. But Joan agitated, kept her daughter's name in the public. She spoke to folks like you multiple times. She had the law changed, a law that affected DNA there that would have an impact on not only her case, but others. She would not give up. And we take you inside that case, inside the investigation. We get a chance to meet Joan, who is just a remarkable woman, and just to learn how police were able to crack this case, what took them so long, and how there were twists at the very end that just kept everybody guessing and, of course, surprised at how this case wound up ultimately turning out.
I have to mention, you, of course, came to Knoxville to work on this story, to visit Brendan Park Apartments, the scene of the crime. As we said, it's been more than 20 years. What was it like to put yourself in that place?
Well, it was fascinating because I worked in Knoxville so many years ago. And of course, to come back there and to see, number one, how the city has just changed and grown, but also, to spend some time in some of those areas like this apartment complex to try to understand the story and to learn, of course, while it might be a gated community and looks pretty safe right now, it was a little bit more open at the time. That actually was made it very difficult for police because somebody was able to just sort of roll up there into the apartment building, and there was no surveillance video available like we have it today, where you have cameras all over the place that capture almost everything on the streets. So it was really interesting to see where this crime happened, what police were up against, but also a city that I had grown to know over the years, how it was changed by this too. People know the name Jonna Berry when you mention it in Knoxville, Tennessee.
It stunned our entire city. Again, yes, you're right. People still talk about it to this day. And we thank you for shining a spotlight on this case and on this mother who never gave up.
And we thank you for being a part of our reporting, too.
Oh, thank you, Deborah. We appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, that was Deborah Roberts, and you'll be able to watch this episode of 2020 tonight at 9 right here on WATE 6 and ABC.